Hello, is that Camden Homeless Persons Unit? Yes, it's Rosemary from Gleneagle. Morning. Just to let you know my vacancies. Right, you ready? Right, I've got a quad at the hotel. I've got a couple of annexes, 2 bedrooms in the North 8 area, and I've got 4 bedrooms and a 5-bedroom, N15, N22.
Obviously, when it comes to homeless hotels, when homeless first sort of entered the market for hotels, it was like dream come true. Suddenly, you had a small amount of clients who were saying, I'll fill your hotel. And obviously, a hotelier's aim every day is to get as many people into the hotel as possible.
Every day, I get a call from the Housing Aid Centre and the people, because they've heard so much about the hotel, and they just see if I've got a room over there. And I've been saying to them, no, I don't have a room in this one, but I might have a room in the other one I'm buying soon. So keep on phoning me.
Like bed factories, the key factor up here is heads on beds. You've got to get as many people in the beds as you possibly can.
We're regarded as the scum of the earth, but I'm sure that if you go and ask those homeless families who have stayed with us over the last 6 years how we treated them and how we behaved towards them, they will tell you that they were very happy to stay with us.
Just to let you know my vacancies, I've got a quad at Stapleton Hall Road. That's it really. Haven't you had any families lately, sort of quads?
Every time it rains, banners from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains banners from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over.
Basically, there's 2 types of trade that they can go for here. Very few tourists will stay in this area. Predominantly, they're either going to be commercial hotels where people travel, say, from up north or from the west or wherever, and they need somewhere to stay. Yeah. Or they're going to be homeless hotels. The guy we're going to meet now, Mr. Bimji, he's been in hotels, I think, most of his life. He's got tourist hotels and homeless hotels, and this one is a homeless hotel, which I think he wants to sell so that he can be a bit more central London. He's bought one down in Victoria, down in Belgrave Road. You know, we sold a few down there this year. So hopefully it'll be here. Should be along here somewhere on the left, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay.
Hello, good
Mr.
afternoon.
Booty, how are you? Nice to see you again. This is Jim, my colleague, Jim Keogh. I don't think you've met him before.
Yeah. Did you find the place all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Down the road and around the corner.
Right. You want to leave them behind somewhere, or?
Yeah, if we can leave them in the office, and then if what we'd like to do is just have a look round at the selection of rooms and all the service areas, the breakfast room. And
Right. Well, let's leave them just here.
Yeah, okay. Is your manageress here today, or is she off?
She's in today.
She's in. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. I'll tuck
Right, we'll start upstairs?
Yeah, follow you around. Right weather, isn't it?
Yes, about time. There's a basement, ground, first and second floors.
Right. How many rooms have you got here?
27 rooms. Housekeeper has one, so 26 letting rooms.
Right. And any of them en suite?
No, basic rooms.
Okay. The kitchen as well.
Right, this is a twin room.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 rooms have their own showers.
Right.
They all have hot and cold water,
Yeah.
drinking water, fridge.
Okay. So what, the drinking water comes through that tap there, is
That's
it?
right.
Okay.
The hotel's been adapted for homeless trade.
Just make sure that your umbrella is upside down. Change it.
Okay, I'd like to show you around. This used to be my home. We bought this in 1976 on my daughter's first birthday, and we lived here for many years. And let me just come and show you around. Do you want to come through here first? This used to be our dining room, and many years ago, I think it was 1984, I had an offer from somebody to rent this property from me for a horrendous amount of money, and we couldn't understand the reason why they wanted to pay us so much. He was introduced by a friend, and I started asking questions of that friend as to how this man could pay so much money for the rental of this house. To give you an example, the value of this house then was about £60,000, and the rental he wanted to pay was £60,000 a year, and we couldn't really work it out. I wanted to find out more about his business and what he was doing. I found that he was dealing with homeless families. So I visited his hotel, or one of his hotels, in which were in very bad condition. This is where my mother-in-law used to sleep. This was her bedroom. And anyway, I visited his hotels, which had many people living in one room, and decided that that wasn't the way, that homeless families should be looked after. I then got in touch with the local authority and their environmental health department, and we decided to convert this into a hotel purely for homeless families, but trying to make life more comfortable for them.
So, sort of standard facilities in all the kitchens, putting their electric cooker. They keep their own pots and pans and
That's
everything.
right, in their rooms.
Yeah. Otherwise, they go walkabout.
That's right. The hotel has a master key system.
Okay.
Easy for the housekeeper.
All right.
This is a twin room.
Okay. You've got a good garden here as well, haven't
Yes, football pitch.
you? Okay. Have you gone for any planning on that to get it
We
extended?
did,
Yeah.
and refused planning for 3 houses.
Oh, really?
The architects told us to appeal on it.
The hotel took off from there. We started in March 1985, sorry, May 1985, and it's been full ever since. The business picked up tremendously after that, and we just had to go on getting more and more places. But this always will be the one closest to your heart, wouldn't it, really?
Why?
Because this used to be the place where I lived, more than anything. This was my home. This was my home. And there's another family living here. This used to be my bedroom.
Has it been homeless since '87?
Since I bought it, yes.
And then you're just getting the standard tariff rates from the local
That's
authorities?
right.
Why are you looking to sell it?
Well, I've decided to invest the money into central London hotels, where most of my interests are.
Have you got your homeless ones in central London, or are they all tourists?
No, they're tourists.
They're all tourist hotels. The linen?
Linen, it's owned.
You own the
washed,
linen?
yes, and washed on the premises.
So who does that? Your caretaker?
Yes, the housekeeper.
Okay. Can you tell me the split on rooms? How many singles, doubles, etc.?
Right, we've got 11 singles,
Yep.
13 doubles,
Yep.
and 2 triples,
Okay. Yep.
and the housekeeper's room.
How many staff do you employ? Is the one
One
full-time?
full-time housekeeper
Yeah.
and 1 part-time chambermaid.
So, do you know the turnover for last year end?
Last year end was 188,000.
Is that excluding VAT?
Yes.
And the sort of net profit that you're attaining off that? Interesting.
Net profit would be about 140,000.
140.
That's
It's
right.
only costing you 48,000.
48,000 to run.
It's very cheap.
It's very low-key hotel.
Okay. Or maybe you're a good operator.
Maybe. It's basic accommodation. Then we don't provide anything.
But, I mean, what occupancy would you have run on that basis?
We used to, at that time, run on 100% occupancy.
Right.
But it's now dropped to about 85.
Okay. And is that some of that sort of now sort of refugee work and that side of trade? Is there a variance from just straightforward homeless before?
No, it's still all homeless.
Is it?
But we don't have the block booking like we used to have.
Okay.
Therefore, any vacant rooms that are vacant, we don't get paid for.
So when you hear it thunder, don't run under a tree.
I'd say that we've got somewhere in the region of 70 properties, which comprise of 3 hotels, a number of properties that we own, and a large number of properties that we rent from other people. This place here, when it was developed, the Chief Environmental Health Officer and the now Chief Executive Officer of the Borough of Haringey expressed a wish to declare themselves homeless so that they could live here. Such was the quality.
And still looking at the price per room on what people are prepared to pay, I would say that the hotel is worth in the region of about £750,000.
750?
Yeah.
As low as that?
That's a very good price.
Lower than what we paid for it in 1987.
I know, but you know, the market's changed since
The market has changed, but the business is here. All year round, we're running at 85% occupancy.
Right.
If you look at a tourist hotel, that fluctuates from 20% to 80% to 60%, while here it's stable all year round.
It's easy for me to say, but you pay too much in, 1987.
It must be worth more than 750.
There's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of hotels for sale. And I said to you, people are looking for deals. All they want is a bargain. I know if we put it on at 750, I know they'll offer 600 or 500 or whatever. They'll be way lower. But at least it's an offer, and we've got something to work on. Okay, I'm not going to get my reward until I've sold it. Okay, so if they offer 700 and you don't want to accept it,
Right.
then we reject it.
Well, I'm willing to try it out and put it in the market for 750.
Okay.
But that is my final.
All right.
And are you asking for a sole agency?
Yeah, we only work on sole selling rights. We have a contract with you, and that means if you sell it to your granny, then you pay me a fee.
Really, we're a property development company who have had an income by renting our hotels and properties to the homeless people. This is how we've survived. The horrendous interest rates that have been prevalent in this country for the last 2 years.
'Cause this band is from heaven for you and me.
Okay, well, if you look at this hotel, the sign, which is very posh, I understand it's very new. I've never seen that before. The hotel's usually quite clean and well maintained, and if you look up, you can see the Normafar curtain test. That's where I always think that you can tell usually what a hotel's going to be like by looking at the net curtains. If they're clean and tidy, you stand quite a good chance of the hotel being the same, but if they're dirty, knotted, torn, hanging down, you can usually say the rest of the hotel is going to be along similar lines. I think the Swinton's okay. They've just completed quite a few new rooms, which I've never seen before. That's one of the reasons I'm along here today. Hi.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah.
You've just expanded with all these rooms, and you've probably got less people from us than you ever had. What are the long-term?
Well, I think the aim is to go commercial eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, because he's always kept the hotel to a very good standard, with the thought in the back of his mind that at some stage,
He'll turn the business, yeah. The 2 new buildings.
Hey, John.
Come in.
Is it all right to come in? I've got Norma from Camden. It's just to do a room check.
Hello.
Is that all right?
Yes. Do you mind if I look around your room?
Okay.
Of course.
Thank you. Ah, you've got a room with a view.
Oh,
Well, yeah, not the best of views,
Not the best of
unfortunately.
views at the moment, but...
Well, yeah.
Are you actually from Camden?
Westminster.
Westminster. Right. So I won't ask how long you've been here, because we're not going to rehouse you. You're Westminster's problem.
Well, I hope somebody's going to house me.
How did you find the hotel, all right?
Absolutely marvellous.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this the first hotel you've been in?
Well, I was in one for, just one night,
I see.
which was pretty
Not
bloody.
so nice. In Westminster?
It was in Paddington.
Right,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Well, you'll find Camden hotels much better than Westminster.
But these are the new showers, but I mean, I think they're great.
The only thing that I laugh at is I've always said I suppose you could sit on the toilet and have a shower.
Yeah, and shave all at the same time, yeah.
Do you find it a problem having the toilet and the shower in the same
Not
room?
at all, no, no.
Well, thanks very much.
Okay, no,
Sorry to
thank you.
have disturbed you.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Bye-bye.
When the homeless market started, what happened was that the council said, right, we'll take the rooms. So people found that they could work on 100% occupancy. This made their hotels very, very profitable and really inflated the price of hotels. Now, when the market gets particularly difficult, what happens is that many people start to say, well, look, I'll revert back to homeless, because whilst I can't get as much money for the room, because a homeless room sells at a lower tariff rate, I can get 100% occupancy. So they're constantly playing this kind of balancing act. And, in this last year, because of the Gulf War, the high pound, high interest rates, tourists haven't been coming, people haven't got the spendable income. So some of the hotels have decided that they're going to go back into doing homeless trade.
Yeah, 4 million, that works out at 95,000 a room.
It's kind of swings and roundabouts in a way. I mean, in one sense, the trade is there and that he might be able to guarantee you some future business, particularly if it's your first hotel venture.
How much cash have you got available to put down if you see something you like?
Yeah, I mean, confidentially, he would look at selling both.
30,000. We've got 4-star and 3-star places selling at...
Good morning. Can I speak to David Spring,
50,
please?
55,000.
My name's Nolan, Gerard.
Right, yeah. And have you got finance arranged at the moment? Jolly good.
Also, Michaela, we're going to do a rosette. And we'll combine this in form of a press release as well for Mr O'Neill at the Granham House Hotel. Probably to read as follows. Head it. Sold. Granham House Hotel. After having been the proprietor for over 21 years, Mike O'Neill has decided to semi-retire. A commercial hotel, weren't you? You were just doing...
it was AARAC recommended hotel. And because we couldn't fill the rooms every night all the time, I approached Harry and Gay and said, do you want to use the hotel? They said, yes, please.
Yeah.
So they went on from there.
Yeah, so you just basically weren't getting enough heads on bed, so to speak, to get them in.
Yeah.
In the latter days, trading with local councils, the new owner, Mr A. Khan, anticipates continuing. The new owner, Mr A. Khan, intends to carry on homeless trade.
Sorry, I'm late, as always.
And already has 2 successful units
How are you?
in Tottenham.
Not a lot else to do now.
You ready to go?
Not really. I've got loads to get rid of yet.
Yes.
Have you the key to the bookcase, Mike?
Key to the bookcase.
Well, if you don't finish by 12, anything is there is mine then.
You must be joking.
What I've got is a 3-bedroom house with 2 receptions and kitchen, bath, the usual things. Is that okay for your family? It is.
Do you think he'll make a go of it?
I think you will. Very busy young man.
Hello?
Hello, Stan?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got Islington on the line.
Yes.
A family of 8, man, woman and 6.
Right.
I've got a couple of properties which I can put them in. One's at 232 Park and the other one's at Cowper Gardens. Now, they want in the North 8 area. I think that Park Road would be best. What do you think?
Well, there's no doubt that Park Road would be best if it's in the North 8 area, because it's in North 8,
The other
isn't
one's
it?
too far.
No, put them in Park Road, Rose.
Park Road, okay then. So I'll ring the boys up and let them know.
Okay.
All right then.
Thank you.
If I need your help, I'll call you back.
Right.
All right then.
Bye.
Bye.
It's a couple, yes?
Yes, a young couple.
And where are they from? Are they actually from the council or
they're
social
from the council.
services?
No, they're from the council.
Which council is that?
Haringey.
Haringey Council,
Yeah.
right. And how long they been staying here?
I think about 18 months now. Then you have 2 more quad rooms up there, very large ones.
That's right, on the third floor.
Yeah.
Or second floor, rather.
And single all down there.
It's actually double room, but you have...
But I keep it for single because it's...
Yeah, but they're paying you the single rate.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But you should really strictly ask them to pay...
Well, you should do, but...
Because, I mean, you could get a couple here. Because
Yes.
it's a double room.
Yes, it will be.
And if they're occupying it, you should
Sure.
really pay the double rate.
Sure. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Is homelessness a good business to be in?
It can be a good business, but not if it's run like it's run at the moment. You've got to actually provide more facilities, and that's the only way you can get more customers in, because at the moment half of the rooms are empty. So really, yes, it can be a good business provided you run it properly.
Every time it rains, and it's from heaven.
Swinton Hotel, good morning.
Every time, every time, every time it rains, and it's from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains...
I've got another 2 gentlemen that are supposed to go around and see this morning. So if they're moved out, then I'll have a double. And if this lady moves out, then I'll have another 2 doubles.
I'll see you later.
Swinton Hotel?
Has got mental problems.
Yes.
And she's not a very nice person. She's got
Yes.
in for people with not much money. Manufacturer is mentally ill more than most people.
Yeah.
And this country is mostly run by people with mental problems and stupid and not
That's
very nice
today, is
people.
it? Instead of
And most people in this country and in America are half psychotic and they don't even know
Okay,
it.
then I'll
because
make
what
sure
the
he gets the
demons did to
message.
people thousands
All
of
right
years
then,
ago.
bye-bye.
Because they poisoned people drugs thousands of years ago.
Who did?
The demons.
Oh, but why? All right, thanks very much.
Okay.
All right. Swinton Hotel, good morning. Yeah, because I also need another. Basically, to be single and to be booked into bed and breakfast, you've got to be priority. If you're able-bodied of mind and body sort of thing, you're not booked in because you can go out and fend for yourself, you've got a job or whatever, you can get your own accommodation. So you've either got to be physically or mentally disabled to get booked in, or a single girl that's pregnant, or over 60. Those categories, you just don't get booked in. So, I mean, I wouldn't get booked in, sort of thing.
Hello, Norma. How are you?
Fine.
Nice to see you.
Hi,
Been
Stan.
waiting long?
No,
As
not very
usual?
long.
It's normal.
Traffic?
Oh yes, a lot of traffic getting down here. Is
Stan,
you
before
know.
we go in, which family do we have in here?
don't ask me. They're Mr. and Mrs. from Turkey. Yes, that's it.
Right.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Right. How many rooms in this annex?
This is a 4-bedroom
4 bedrooms.
upstairs.
And how many in the family?
There's mother, father, and 5 children.
Right.
Five,
Okay.
6 children.
So they're using this room as a bedroom?
Yes, but but they're all very young. They're all under 12 apart from one.
Okay.
So, well within the specifications that she... So,
is that their TV?
yes, it's all their stuff.
Right. Okay, let's go into the kitchen and have a look there. No trouble with cockroaches, anything like that?
No. We have a contract with a major company who come round and check all the properties once a month.
Right.
For cockroach infestation and for other rodent problems.
Oh, I've got one of these in my house. They're actually a bit of a nuisance, but never mind.
Don't tell me.
A lot of people think they're to put waste disposal units. So.
That's right. And the last few families that we've had that have just left have taken it upon themselves to smash up kitchen cupboards and things like this. And it makes me wonder whether Camden Council have been telling all of them, as you leave, smash everything to pieces.
It isn't actually a Camden policy to tell families to do that, Stan. Maybe you've been unfortunate. One of the things I know that if families have a sense of frustration with us, they do tend to take it out on you. Let's go upstairs and have a look up there, Stan.
Yep.
Well, the banisters are holding up. I think your blankets will last a bit longer, Stan, if you had some bed covers. Oh, they've got bed covers, I apologise.
We always have bed covers, they just don't put them on.
Maybe it's because it's been so warm.
That's true.
Who hangs your curtains, Stan?
Somebody.
Is it Rags?
No.
They've hung it back to front.
Well, this is normal. When you get men hanging curtains up, that's all they can do. Completely and utterly normal. Now, this just about fits half of me, so I have to go up sideways.
You got some banister rails missing here.
Well, they weren't missing when I
think you should actually get them replaced because the small kids could fall through there.
Yes, I will get them replaced. First thing tomorrow.
Okay. Let's just have a look in the bathroom. Doesn't look as though it gets used all that often.
No, obviously they use the downstairs facilities.
Didn't Environmental Health ask you for window restrictors here, Stan? I'm surprised if they didn't.
They probably did, and we probably put them on. They've probably taken them off again.
Well, as you know, I'm not Environmental Health. I'm sort of really looking for the general standards of things. If I were you, I'd finish taking the tiles off the side panel. Probably better. Seem to be coming off anyway.
Yes.
Gerald, I got Mr. on the line. He doesn't want to pay 3.75% commission.
What's the best offer we got at the moment?
1.4.
So they've come up from the 1.25 that we initially got. Yeah. He had it on the market before at 1.25, didn't he?
Previously it was at 1.25, but he's now fairly serious about 1.5.
He had it on the market before, so he was prepared to take 1.25 before.
Yeah.
Right? And now we've got him 150,000 more.
Yeah.
And so, we're worth it. We've done our job. We've got an even better offer than he hoped to attain before.
Yeah.
So no, we'll stick.
You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Just make sure that your umbrella.
Okay, hopefully in a minute we're just about to do a deal with Mr. Manick and Mr. Bimji on the Mount Guest House, which we took on instructions on the other day. Mr. Manick is actually based in Ealing. He lives in Ealing, and he buys anything that he perceives to be a deal. If he sees a good deal, he'll buy it. Concentrates on just small hotels, owns a number of hotels throughout London, mostly homeless, but the key factor for him is small and controllable. And he'll wheel and deal, he'll buy and sell as the years go by. Mr. Bimji has got a few hotels, a few in Ealing, a few in central London, would like to become probably just a commercial hotel operator, and that's why he's looking to sell the one that he's got in Ealing at the moment. Manick we sold a hotel to about 18 months ago in Ealing, but he'll look at, as I say, anything that's a deal, so we can get them in together, sit them around the table, and hopefully close a deal with them. All right. Mr. Manick's here, so we'll just have a quick chat before I see him and we see him. We're on at 750, which we discussed the other day, which you know is a good price. But you know what Manic's like; he'll just want to do a deal. And what you know, we could ask $1 million, and he'll want it for 500. So we know he's going to come in low. What do you think you would be prepared to take?
Well, something near the 750. With falling interest rates, I think the property market will start rising again.
Right.
So it's got to be somewhere near that. 7 or 725.
All right. Well, let's just see what we can do with him, and then I think what we do is when we're in there, we'll just break.
Right. Also, it depends on your fees. If you're prepared to cut that, then I can negotiate on it.
Cut my fee?
Yes. If you want a quick deal, that's the way to do it.
I can't cut fees.
Have you ever been frightened?
I have been in the past. I mean, there's nobody here at the moment that frightens me in the least, but in the past we have had. Well, we have had people with mental illnesses, that like schizophrenia or whatever, which is controlled by drugs. But if for some reason they don't take their medication, it can then change their personality overnight. And whereas they could be sort of quite happy, the next day they could be quite aggressive.
So are you happy to pay the asking price for us then?
Well, what's the last price he wants?
Well, we're asking 750, which we think is a really good price.
For sellers.
And for buyers.
The latest financial accounts is March ending 91.
But the thing is that his income is fairly consistent, so...
I see.
I mean, the forecast is pretty good. I mean, if you want to see it, there it is. That leaves it as being realistic. That's the forecast one, is it?
That's actual to March 91.
Right.
We'll be interested at £600,000.
Yeah.
If Mr. Binji is prepared to accept that, then the best thing would be to send us a contract. You can see his solicitor tomorrow.
We'll exchange tomorrow. Fantastic.
Well,
but the price has to be right, because at 600 you're getting too great a return on your money.
Have you had any training?
None whatsoever, no. I mean, I hope it's just basic sort of common sense that gets you through it, really.
Every time we speak to you, your price gets lower and lower.
But
You want it to get higher and higher.
Well, Mr. Bimji has made money, even now he's making money on this property, so he won't mind.
But you'll make a lot of money on the hotel when you buy it.
Who knows? It's all still, we don't know whether we'll make it or lose
because
it.
you want to buy it. You must want to buy it. But if you... I mean, 600 is too low. We agree with the exchange. We can exchange quickly. I mean, that's what everybody wants. But the price has to be right.
The council isn't likely to ring up and say, I've got a paranoid schizophrenic to book in, because I suppose originally we would have said, no, thank you. But, sorry. Swinton Hotel?
I mean, tell us the last price you would accept, and we'll discuss it.
Give us 2 minutes together and we'll come straight back.
Sure.
And we'll tell you what we're prepared to do. Yeah. Okay, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Suggest a figure.
Let's suggest 625. Take it or leave it. If you don't get 625, we just forget about it.
If they agree...
If they agree, then we'll buy it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right.
Subject to all these.
So, yes. Okay.
I'll just see some people next week.
Yeah? What people are you going to see next week?
I know some people on the kind of get people in touch with people who killed people and want to be killed, how to die.
Oh no, I think that's silly. I'm sorry. I do.
What I don't understand is how 2 months ago you offered 650 and you devalued it by 50,000 in 2 months.
Mr. Bimji,
at that rate, you'll want it for nothing next week.
Mr. Bimji, let's not argue about this. We had a discussion whilst you were. We are prepared to give £625,000, subject to contract. Mr. Bimji can see his solicitor tomorrow. And by the end of the week, we can exchange contracts. You might also want to consider again, see your solicitors, and then you can come up with some other figure.
Right.
But £725,000, I don't think there's going to be a deal.
The offer you are making is less than what we paid for in 1987.
You mean to say you paid more than what?
We paid more.
You are talking for two properties?
For
or
Mount Guest House, we paid more for that than what you are offering in 1987.
4 years ago.
So that happens in the trade, you know.
Well, I think we know where we stand. I mean, we would like to hear your revised figure.
Give us a couple of days. I think we'll come back before Friday.
But 625 is a deal, you know.
625.
We check in now.
You will have to wait for me to go bust first.
How much do your children's schools cost?
Well, about
£25,000 a year at present. Don't tell the taxman that.
Why did you take them out of state schools?
Well, I sent them to the schools because, well, it was one incident really. I went to their infant school. I was invited to a sports day, and when I got there, all they were doing was sitting around passing bean bags to each other. I asked the headmistress when the sports would start, and she said, "Oh, we don't do competitive sports, we're against competitive sports." I said to her, you know, asked her if she knew who finished second to Sebastian Coe in the Olympic Games 1500 metres the previous year. She said, no. I said, exactly, people only remember winners, they don't remember losers. It's a very competitive world we live in. And I don't like the fact that you're killing my children's competitive instinct. I then stopped them going to that school again, and was nearly end of the term, moved them to a new school, which was in Ascot, and now they're at Bradfield College. The whole point of life is, you know, people only remember winners. Winners are the only people that are successful. You know, losers are never remembered, and they get nowhere.
You going to do any immediate changes to it, do you think, or just let it run as it is for a little while?
You know, you've got far too many rooms on the ground floor.
Right.
Those 2 rooms, these 2 rooms, that room.
Far too many public rooms.
Yes.
Yeah, too much service areas.
Yeah.
Right.
Convert into letting rooms.
You are going to do this letting
Yeah.
rooms, right?
There. Done and dealt. Right. Done and dealt. Done and dealt, sir. Cheers, sir. Cheers, sir.
Mr. Cullen?
Yes, just there. Just there. Okay, best of luck, Mr. Khan. I hope everything go well for you. Thanks. Okay.
Couple of bottles of champagne, we'll open up now.
Oh, well. We will have to break these open, I'm afraid. Now.
You'd like to have a celebratory drink with us.
Let me get some glasses, son.
They're cold as well. They're from the Christie's House cellars.
All your clients get this, do they?
Yeah, in fairness, every completion we like to... well, it's a big step for both people, isn't it?
Right.
That's right.
Each cloud contains image from heaven.
I suppose I should really let you...
You'll
No,
find
you do
your fortune falling all over town. Just make sure that your umbrella is upside down.
Once in a while.
Changing for a packet out. Sunshine and flowers.
Well, sorry about that.
Because the thing he does, you must have showers. So when you hear it thunder, don't run.
All right, well, cheers to everybody. Cheers to Mr. O'Neill. Cheers, Mr. Cole.
Good luck, my son.
Hello, is that Westminster Homeless Persons Unit? Is that Mrs. G? Morning, it's Rosemary from Gleneagle here. Just to let you know my vacancies.